So if I want to distinguish between functional groups and a substituent group, well, I guess it depends on like the longest carbon chain, right? How the atoms are bonded, which atoms are there. Fine. For a functional group, we're really looking for a specific pattern of bonding. Like we could talk about a double bond here, we could refer to as an alkene. And the way this OH is attached to, a carbon atom in a chain, we could call this an alcohol. And really, in some ways, those are the only two functional groups in this molecule. You see a cyclic alkene, so you could put it like this. Actually, you could say cyclic alkene for this functional group here, but actually, I consider the cyclic part is optional. Okay. Now, in terms of a substituent group, well, this is where we're looking for some branch, some point in the molecule that's sort of poking out, if you will, from the main carbon chain. And, the main structure here is this ring structure, and then this large branch here with the alcohol functional group, etc. And of this structure, I would really only call the methyl group here a substituent group. I'm sorry, ethyl. This is an ethyl group. And then this is a methyl group. Now, a slight maybe exception to this sort of setup might be something like this guy here. So we learned how to name some ethers in chapter 12. And there's a couple different ways to name ethers. The way we've decided to name it is using something called a classification, or a functional class, I think is what it's called. It's not really important. And that's where you recognize the fact that, yes, you have an ether molecule here, and one of the R groups in the ether molecule is the methyl group. The other R group is the ethyl group. And we put those two R group names, or substituent group names, in the front in alphabetical order, so E before M. And then we finish off the name by saying, well, this is an ether, right? We're only going to be looking at very simple ethers in this class, and we can get away with this type of nomenclature for each one. So ethyl, methyl, ether would be the proper name for this particular compound. I would not necessarily call methyl and ethyl down here substituent groups. It's more like R groups. I mean, I know they look the same, but if you're talking about the semantics about how we use the language here, substituent groups usually reserved for, a branch coming off of some a main primary structure of a molecule. Okay, hope this helped.